Yeah, because if you're just running paid ads and then you click on the page and there's no post, or the last post has been from March 2022, you're like,
Is this
is
legit?
this business actually still operating?
Yeah.
So, but then again, that can still drive business, which is good. So the argument back to it is like, if you're managing to get business without doing this stuff, amazing. But just imagine what you can do if you're doing it. It might change the LTV of a client. It may change the longevity or more customers that you end up getting referred because more people can see you, more people can buy into you. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Bulletproof Studios podcast. Today we are talking about all things organic content. So is organic content dead, or is it actually still relevant for your brand and your business? So Dale, before we get into that,
It's dead. I'm kidding on.
I feel it's going to be an interesting debate. Before we get into that, how's your week been? It is Friday. You just said there you felt excellent.
I feel great. Loving life. No, I'm kidding on. I feel a bit fried. The workouts have been, it's been tough.
Do you find that sometimes if you have a really good week with workouts, like you've done your 5 workouts for 5 days, like you're on point with that and stuff like that, you find that you're maybe not on point with business?
No.
No?
How do you feel I've not been on point with business
No,
this
not
week?
you. I'm just, it was a personal question.
Alright. Yeah, towards me.
No.
No, I'm good. How are you?
No, I was saying a question. Sometimes I find like I have a week where I've done all my steps, I've ate really good, I've done all my workouts I should be doing, but not that I'm slacking on work or business. It's like that might take a dip.
Hmm.
So it's like
We've only got so much energy.
I know, like I find that hard to balance sometimes.
But workouts give you energy. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't care. Well, would I? I don't know. Because obviously Scott patched me. One of my friends patched me during the week we normally work out on a Tuesday morning, and his little one, I don't know what happened, but he had to stay at home, couldn't come over here to work out in the morning. And I was like, I made a joke saying got patched for his kid, but then I was thinking, that's the balancing act of working out. Like, do you focus on yourself, or because if you don't focus on yourself, you can't be there for your loved ones. But then, if you're always focusing on yourself, you're not there for your loved ones. So it's like a proper balancing act. So I don't know how I'll feel with that. But now, to me, like a big, I'm a big believer of making sure that we get our time to ourselves to work out a couple of times throughout the week at minimum.
I do find it a bit funny. You're like, I don't know what happened. I don't think anything happened. I think it's just his baby was up and needed.
That's what I mean. Like,
It's
yeah, but he comes every other Tuesday.
yeah. But,
So like, not meant to be saying but yeah, like workouts it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic changes. But I've always noticed that when I haven't worked out and just focused on business, I'm poorer at the business aspect because I don't get a workout. I feel like you get this adrenaline or this honeymoon period, but then you start, you're short and you're arguing and you're moody and you're cranky, and that's because I'm not worked out. Then you feel crap in yourselves and you indulge in food more. So it's like a vicious circle.
but you've worked out 5 days this week, and
Mhm. I'm just saying right
you're
now that
cranky.
I'm not
Kidding
cranky.
on.
That workout this morning, like I pushed that a little bit too hard. I should have eased back a wee bit. I just feel like everything hurts from it.
Yeah, maybe just.
But
need to
no, I'll
see
be
what
good.
you're
I'll be good.
Good.
It's because that coffee's not hitting me.
Mm.
How have you been? How's growth of baby this week?
Growth baby's good. It feels that baby is getting bigger, definitely, which is interesting. I feel I'm getting bigger. I also asked Dale if he'd tie my shoelace just before this podcast started, because anytime I bend down, I feel like I need to pee, even though I don't. And he refused to tie my shoelace.
No, I thought you just put your foot up and was like, tie my shoe.
I said, no, I never said tie my shoe. I said,
could you tie
my shoelace? And
yeah,
you
but I thought
like,
you
no.
were just like, want me to tie your shoe, and sometimes I forget you're pregnant.
It's so easy to forget, isn't it? So
For me, yeah.
What did you say yesterday? We were out on a walk, and because I had my puffer jacket in, I was bumping up to you to annoy you.
You
and
take up more of the pavement now.
You said you were so fat.
No, I said you take up more of the pavement, and you went, am I fat? And I'm like, how is that what you're taking away from this? It's just because you're like, you waddle now instead of like walking. You're like a wee penguin.
I'm not
You need to
penguin.
walk with your shoulders. Anyway, last week then, or this week's business review.
Mhm.
I went first last week, I think, so you can go first this week. Business. How are you rating it for this past week?
I feel I always go with a steady 7. I don't know why.
No, be honest, like be brutally honest.
Um, I think it started off quite good. I think, and I feel I'm just repeating myself like a few weeks because there's just a lot of stuff that we're still working on for our business, which is fine. There's no point in rushing a lot of stuff because we want to make sure it's right. But it started off with quite a fun content shoot on Monday with one of our aesthetic clinic clients. Is it
I
clinic
think you
clients?
only feel you're repeating yourself because we messed up last week. Or we kind of had this routine for the podcast, and we're doing these weekly reviews,
Mhm.
and we done the weekly review on Tuesday
Monday.
for last week,
Yeah.
Tuesday,
Tuesday. Yeah.
to go out on Wednesday. So this one's better. So this is
Yeah. We had a
more
good
or less the same.
content day on Monday with our client, which was fun because I feel like we prepped really well for it. We had good ideas. It was a really good mix of content for them that was like educational, testimonials, and then also some fun stuff because we actually even done some like Christmas themed content. What I quite enjoy about these content days is I'll tell you, like, when we've got a client that is maybe more female focused, like an aesthetic clinic, like I'll quite enjoy like the different trends and stuff like
Mm,
that. And I'll be like, oh, have you seen this trend? And you're just like, don't have a clue what it
no,
is. Like it was the Mariah Carey It's Time like Christmas thing, and you're like, who's Mariah Carey? Like
not who's Mariah
I
Carey.
mean
I've
it's
never heard of the It's Time. I don't know what that is still. Obviously, you
like
showed me it, so I
yeah,
get it, but
it's like
never heard that
Christmas.
song before.
We'll do our version.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
We'll
No.
see. So yeah, I think that was good. And I think just like it's been a good week. It's just again, it's the we're working on ourselves, but I just want to get moving. I want to get fully out there advertising. I want to get more clients and working with new clients, being able to have new projects. Which we do have. We had quite a few good conversations with people who used to podcast with us who are getting back into it. And it's steering that conversation away from just doing podcasting for the sake of it. It's like what it's like digging into the why behind their doing it. How can we help them grow? How can we help them actually make their podcast profitable and just have a strategy behind it for they're not doing it for
Mhm.
the sake of it. So I think that's quite good to do rather than just letting them podcast come in, come out,
Yeah.
and we have a plan behind it. So overall, I'm gonna say a 6, just because I just want things going.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say a 4.
Oh okay.
I'm
Much
not.
more positive mindset than you.
Feeling Monday, I had this big plan of things that I wanted to achieve this week, and not even got near it. Not that I had not got near it, just like other things have taken steer. So this week was meant to be the big week of going out and going after one of our lead generation strategies, or how do we start getting more customers into the business? And I thought on Wednesday we'd be doing that. Never done it. Tuesday was meant to be like a full content day as well, and it only ended up being like 2 podcasts or our season 0 podcast, which was fine, but we get no short form content for Instagram that we recorded. So again, kicked myself there. And then I also wanted to be out and walking the streets and walking, introducing ourselves into businesses this week, but not done it.
Why is that? Why do you think that's happened?
Lack of action.
Only you're accountable for
You're right. You're
that.
right.
So how are you gonna turn that around next
Nah,
week?
I think there was a bit of an excuse where I didn't have business cards and I didn't have a business leaflet. And then yesterday, I was thinking when we sat down with those guys who used to podcast, and we were giving them advice on what to do and that, and I kind of had the idea. I was like, why have I not just started looking at what businesses are in Airdrie and Coatbridge, who the owners are, try and find them on social media, introduce myself. Like I could have done that,
Mm,
but I was using the excuse of not having a
I
business
guess.
card and stuff like that. But speed is king. Like the quicker you can do things, the quicker you get to the point. So this like next week's review, if you're sitting here going, I just want to get out the gates and get going, like we're starting the business off and we're
And
applying for jobs.
we're opening up a deli.
So I know
Sorted.
apparently delis are where it's at, which is crazy. Yeah.
Do you think there's a part of it? Because I remember you said when you get your hair cut during the week and you were walking past the businesses in Airdrie, and you were like, "Oh, that's," you're like, "If I had to walk in here just now and be try and sell services or speak to them, like, you were like, "Oh, that's quite overwhelming." Do you think that's part of it, or do you think it's
No, you
just
like that's just a fear thing, isn't it?
Mhm,
It's part of like human nature when you do something new. So it's almost like a cold call. It's like door to door sales or door to door
mhm,
knocking. Now, this is the perfectionist that's within me. Because I'm like, I'll wait till I've got a business card. I'll write handwritten letter. I'll do this. I'll do that. And it's like I'm overthinking this. I just need to do it, and then the quicker I can do it, even if I fail for the first 20 businesses that I go into and they chase me out the door, at least I will get better at that.
mhm.
And that's like last night when I was going to bed, or I went for a bath last night, and that's what I was thinking in the bath. I was like, why have I not done that earlier this week? But just life, isn't it?
We're
Guess what
gonna
I'll be doing this week, though?
we're gonna have some snazzy leaflets and some snazzy signage for outside the studio next week
Banners.
as well. Should be nice.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
What about relationship-wise rating this week? What do you feel?
Mm, I think we've really done anything.
Does that make it a bad thing or a good
No, it's
thing?
not. It's not a bad thing, but we've not. We've. I suppose we went for a walk straight after work when it was light a couple of times this week, so we got that in.
Mhm.
Been a couple of walks in the morning or worked out in the morning, but I'm not good in the mornings. Like
No.
you like to chat, and I'm like, Jill, I'm in the middle of my set. I'm fucking lifting weights right now. You're asking me a question about something.
I just like to
I'm just
chat.
different.
Like when we work out together, I like to chat. Like that's like me and my friend Nicola when we go running. We talk for the full run.
Mm.
Whereas when I go a run with you, I try to talk to you and I get nada. Nothing.
Just always in my head.
But I just like to chat. It
That's
makes
why at night, like when we do other stuff, I'm more chattier.
okay.
It's like a 200% increase of chatting
From a
from
zero.
one word to two words. So yeah, this week's been okay, but we've got a busy weekend anyway with um, niece and nephew,
Mhm.
and then we've also got a lot of stuff on the studio as well. So I think this is going to be one of those weeks where it's busy. We had like a lot of stuff last week, finding out the gender of the baby. Went out for lunch, went out for dinner, went out for another dinner. So we had a lot going on last week. Next week as well, we've got another scan and that sort of stuff. So I'd imagine I don't think every week's going to be 10 out of 10 relationship, like
Mhm.
where like went out for lunch and done these sorts of things. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't think
it's all right.
that's what a relationship is though. Like going out for lunch every week. I think it's just more like listening to each other and like spending even that like 30-minute walk, like stuff like that.
Hmm.
I think we're good this week.
Yeah,
It's a good score.
creativity.
Um,
Don't say M.
oh, I don't know why you're pointing at me. I would say maybe like 7 again, because again, I think like good from from the client we had, like I feel that was good from that aspect. We got all our podcasts done for season 0. I won't say them. We've got this podcast, so I think it's been good from that side point of view. Even like doing the signage and stuff like that for the business, I'd say it's quite been pretty good. I think the only thing that's maybe brought it down is like you said, we didn't get our own short form content done, but we've got a day mapped out next week to block out and do the rest of it.
Fat batch.
That batch and got some spooky content coming soon. I'm making well, I could say that because this is coming out next Tuesday, so I'm making Dale and
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I'm making Dale and Fraser dress up as ghosts and me. We're gonna do some spooky content.
Speaking of content, let's
Yes.
get into it. Organic content.
What?
So this is it's a phrase that's often thrown around for those who don't necessarily know the difference between like social media content. Like break it down. How would you describe organic content?
So organic content, I would say, is any content that's not backed by ad spend. So anything that you're posting on your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, even email marketing technically is organic because it's you're not putting a physical spend behind it. And when we say like putting spend behind it, it's like your ads on Meta, so Facebook and Instagram or Google ads or whatever it is you're putting it. So if you're putting spend behind that to target a specific audience, which everyone will have seen if you've not ran them yourself, that is that's targeted content, whereas organic is the stuff that you're just posting. So the majority of content that's out there is organic. does that mean it works or does that not mean it works?
So there's often a debate. Do you think there's a debate, or do you think it's just the people we've been in contact with?
No, I think there's definitely a debate. There's a lot of people who, like, we've had quite a few people in the studio
Fluff.
who, hmm?
People refer to it as a fluff.
Yeah, it's like fluffy content. A lot of people think they don't see the purpose on it because they don't. If, for example, if you're putting out a video organically, so on your account to your followers, and it only gets 20 to 30 likes, but then you put out content that's got ad spend behind it, you're getting a lot more impressions, you're getting a lot more views, you're getting a lot more engagement. You might think, what is the point in me doing organic content? It's just fluffy.
Mm.
But in my opinion, there is, I'm going to just say my opinion, that I think organic content, you have to be doing organic content. You can't just do ads. They need to work hand in hand. And even if you don't do ads, you still need to do organic because you're then not doing anything.
Mhm.
What do you feel?
Yeah, I'm the same. I was just winding you up before this.
We
Obviously, we have a content creation studio. It's our business model.
yeah,
Do
we
you
had
think I'm going to go out there and go, nah, organic sucks?
so we'd planned to do this podcast episode on organic content, and literally 5 minutes before we came in here, I was like, "It's going to be, is organic content dead?" And the answer is no, it's not dead. And Dale was like, "Or is it?" I was like, "Oh, there's going to be a
I
debate
didn't
here.
say I didn't say it wasn't.
There's going to be an
Now, in fairness,
interesting."
so let's play the opposite side of this. Like, as to why do some people not believe in creating social media content? From a business, it's probably more so from a business perspective. Forget about your personal pages, your personal brand, or whatever you want to call that, but just talk about it from a business perspective. Reason number one, their business is getting leads without it, which is a fair point. It's a fair point when you look at that. What would you say the argument back to that is? So I'm saying to you, it's like, look, I hear everything you say, but I've not posted on social media. I'm not even on social media at all, and my business is doing pretty well.
I'd say that's great. That's really good that you're doing that if it's coming from referrals or wherever it's coming from. But it makes me think that you're leaving customers and money on the table
Mm,
because you're still, yes, you've got this pool of customers that are coming to you, but there is another pool of customers that you've not even attempted to speak to through social media. So why, if you want your business to grow, why are you just completely ignoring a potential pool of customers?
yeah, yeah. My argument would also be like, amazing that you're doing this without social media content. Imagine you did do it though.
Imagine what you
Like,
could do.
yeah.
Because it's obviously you've got a great product or service. So if you actually try and put that out there, what could it do?
And if you ask a business owner, can you handle more inquiries? And they say yes, it's like, cool, you're not doing social media. Let's look at the things that you are doing to get customers. Double down on that, and then bring a bit of a social media presence in it. The other side of it is probably marketers' faults, the marketing
Yeah.
agencies, marketing people. There's I don't know, it's almost like, see, influencers. I think influencers have ruined social media content to a certain extent where businesses think that's the type of content that they need to be putting out. And I don't think there's categories which we'll obviously get into in a little sec, but I just remember when I was running my coaching business and I was thinking, I don't want, like, that is annoying me. It's annoying me that I need to try and craft a hook and I need to script my sentences and all this sort of stuff. So it just ended up putting me off creating social media content. What would you say the argument is back to that?
I think you need to be authentic in your organic content, especially because you need to be if we take a couple of steps back, like your organic content is what goes out to your already like pool of people who are following you. So your customers and clients who already know who you are and are already on Instagram. So again, you might think, what's the point in me marketing to them if they already know who I am? But again, it's getting them back in, building that community with them, making them feel like they're part of something, kind of like speaking to them on a different level. And then there is also them sharing it and going to
Yeah.
people that might not follow you but follow that different person. So I think being authentic is part of it. So yes, there is. We spoke about it in a lot of our content, but yes, there is ways to script it and design it in a certain way. So you've got your hook, you've got your middle bit, you've got your content changing every 3 seconds to keep the viewer entertained. But I think authenticity is down to it. If you're not authentic while you're doing that, it's still not going to translate. You can be the best video editor in the world and we can edit it so it looks good, but if you're still not feeling authentic in it, it's not going to work. So I think that's where we work really closely with our clients to, yes, script stuff, but make sure it's still in their tone of voice, make sure it's what they want to be saying, make sure it's not something that's engineered that just sounds AI, like ChatGPT's written it.
Or just fluffy words, like
Yeah.
saying a lot of big words but no no
Mhm.
meaning.
You
S
find that a lot in the coaching space, and you see that a lot, like, people will say a lot of coaches will say a lot of, like, big words about certain muscles or certain things that your body does after it works out, and it doesn't, like, I'm not saying the big words because I don't know them, but,
Big word's a big word.
yeah, big words. But I remember there's I can't remember what it was. It was during High Rocks. I think somebody kept saying something. I was like, I have no idea what this means. You're like, it just means the muscles getting tired. I was like, why would you not just say that?
Yeah.
I can't remember what the word was now, but it's things like that. It's like, why would you, if you're trying to get the average Jill and Joe to train with you, why would
Jill
you,
and Dale.
Jill and Dale? Why am I an average name? I never like that phrase and I've just used it. Jill's not an average name.
Is it?
Average Jill and Joe, like
Yeah,
Jill. It's
basic
unique.
bitch name, eh?
Thanks.
Let's call her Baby Jill.
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe Jill. Anyway, um, if I'm trying to get the average person on board with with my product or service, you shouldn't be using big, massive words that they're not going to
Mm.
understand because they're just going to turn off.
Yeah.
Use like what is it, fifth grade English or primary five English, whatever we use here.
Yeah, it's yeah. So that's like to the type of content and actually speaking, but I think that ties into maybe one of the last points as to why people don't believe in it. I've been posting and I'm not seeing any results from it, and I only get a couple hundred views, or it's not went viral. Getting a post to go viral isn't necessarily like a debate with this because obviously we all think we want that, and I've had viral posts go from my old podcast clips and that sort of thing. And did it do anything in terms of driving more people to the podcast? Maybe one or two people, maybe a handful of people. Thing is, it's always hard to track that side of things. But I tell you one thing, I never got any more. I never got any business off it. It fed an ego statistic, and there's a part of you where you're like, oh, I'll do more of that content. But then you're so disconnected from what your business is doing in the first place, and you're just
Mm.
creating like Andrew
Controversial
Tate style
things.
content that is just trying to get people wound up,
Yeah.
and it's got nothing to do with your messaging. And it might be part of your personality, which is another part of this subject that we can get into. But the for you as a business owner that doesn't believe in it, and if the reason you don't believe in it is because you don't think it works because you've been posting in the past and you only get a couple hundred views, sometimes you don't realize that the couple hundred views can actually lead to someone buying with you. And a story I'll tell about this, one of my first Instagram posts when I became a coach, remember I went upstairs and recorded a 15-minute video on who I am and
Yeah.
posted it to Instagram. That was mental. Like, there's no such thing
15
as
minutes.
long form content. But this was on a platform where everyone consumes and it's very much doom scrolling. And I posted that video and I tagged the gym that I was working in. And some people of the gym came up to me the next morning. I was like, "Oh, I watched your video last night. Like, I really enjoyed that." And I was like, "Oh, it's quite cool. Like, people actually watched that." Now, I seen 57 views, and I'm thinking, "Oh, that's shit." That
Mm.
was 57 people. Imagine 57 people
In
in
a
a room
room.
with me
Hmm.
that are interested in my client avatar. The best part about this whole story, a good friend of mine now, Andy Telfer, signed up to me. He inquired to me. He's like, "I watched that video and really liked how you came across because it was this longer form content." And I've been working. I was working with him right up until last year. So the return on my investment, he'd been paying me for a service for 3, almost 4 years. Like, and if I got tied up in the views and went, okay, that doesn't work, and I gave up at that point, like that, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have seen the return on it. So it's a
Definitely.
hard one. It's a hard one. So yeah, I think it's absolute. I don't think it's dead. I think it's, if anything, it's more vital than ever to get it right.
I think it's like it's what you're saying there. It's not about becoming viral. It's building trust and consistency as well. I think that's the other part of it. So you're building trust, but also if you're consistent with it, that's where you'll see it pay off. If you're only posting, like some clients who say like, "Oh, I just gave up," but it's like, "Right, how often are you posting? Once a week or once a month or something not even like that." And some of the posts, sometimes you look at them, and you're like, "It's not really giving value." So even though we're saying be authentic, still try to give value. Like that 15-minute video you posted, yeah, it was long and probably unedited, but you still gave value because you gave people what you were about, if they want to work with you, what they can expect, that kind of thing. But if you're posting something just randomly, like when you start the month of October and you post a picture that says "Hello October," what's that giving anyone?
Mm.
And you're like, oh, see, organic
I feel
content
like it's
doesn't
always a
work with me.
disconnect with corporate businesses when they're
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
like
"Happy
I
Friday,
feel
it's
like
the
if anyone's listening to
weekend."
that, are like, oh, I just posted that. But like, if there's no like, all it is like, oh, it's a
But
new
I
month.
feel, is that a tick in the box exercise for the
Yeah,
marketing person that they've got in their business?
yeah. I think it's like right. We said we were going to do 3 posts a week. Right, that's
Yeah.
one done. I think that's as well. Like marketing and content isn't just a tick in the box. You need to think.
Intentional.
Yeah, it needs to be
Needs to be
intentional.
intentional.
Like, there's no point in just posting content for the sake of it. You need to make sure one, it's you're providing value to your audience, whoever that audience is. It's gonna not necessarily drive business um back to your business, drive clients or customers because it's not always about organic content, isn't always about like sales. You don't want to be too salesy all the time in your content. You want to be providing value, you want to be providing comedy if that's kind of the
Yeah,
route you're going
entertainment
down.
behind the scenes, like so. And I think what we'll do, we'll get onto those categories because there's different categories of content that you can be creating, and hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea. And the whole point of this is to kind of peel back the layers of why do we create content in the first place. Yes, we want to drive more leads into the business, but think about this from your existing clients as well. The world that we live in, people like to consume. And if you have someone that is buying your product or buying your service, they're invested in you and your business. So if you're starting to show them more content on a regular basis and a behind the scenes look at what you're doing, they're going to be more inclined to stay with you longer. And then if you look at the long term, so let's say a customer on average would work with you for 6 months and you're creating no content. We start creating content and a customer then goes to on average to 12 months, your business has made more money and more value because
Mhm.
you've started producing that content. So it's like, it's very hard to measure on, is it just leads? Is it just sales? Is it just inquiries, followers, views, likes? There's a bigger picture where it feeds into the overall business dynamic. We said on the last podcast, it's like the modern day website, but it's almost different. It's interest. Interest media is something that Gary Vee's been saying recently. It's not social media anymore. And it's like, how do you capture interest? So what are people interested in? Well, if they, let's take our business for example. If you're a business owner and you're trying to get better at marketing, then you're going to be interested in what some things that you can do that makes your marketing better.
Mhm.
Like that's all it becomes. So I know we're kind of slagging it a wee bit of like throwing up a post saying Happy October. Like, be more creative. Like, right, okay, you want to get a post out. What's the point of posting Happy October? I want to wish everyone a happy October. So like cool. Like, what about a picture of your team, or what about you just
Mhm.
speaking to the camera saying, "Yeah, I love Halloween.
Yeah, like
It's my favorite time of the year, and happy October,
I'm
everyone."
in my pumpkin spice latte era now.
Yeah,
Like
that's going to connect more than a Canva
stock
image with
images.
a fucking pumpkin on it with some fancy font on it. So it's been like super creative with this sort of stuff, and I get creativity is almost like a skill and it's experience and all that. But just like ask yourself, why am I posting this? What's the reason that I'm posting it for? And could I do something a wee bit different?
Mhm.
Um, so categories of content then. So there's different styles of content that can go out there. It's not styles, sorry, different categories of content that you can create. The main one that people probably do is the sailing why can I not say
What, like
that
a
word?
boat
Yeah, because
sailing?
I'm sailing.
Sailing.
Selling type of content, so a call to action about a product or a
Yeah.
service. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's absolutely needed. If you don't say that you've got a sale on or that you've got spaces to work with you, how do people know? So that needs to be in your content messaging. But somebody comes across you and it's just sell, sell, sell. Like you're we're in a world where I think I looked up the other day. I'm going to look it up again. I think it's something like 3 million Instagram posts get
Mhm.
posted on a daily basis. So, how many people are doing sale, 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 and how many other people are doing value add?
Yeah.
How can I just give my potential customer something that they then trust me a little bit more? And then ask yourself, who do you trust more? Do you trust the person that is trying to sell to you, or do you trust the person that is giving you stuff away or
Yeah. So
giving
it's
you?
giving you like valuable information. Like for example, if you take our business, like yes, we need to sell our services and we do that to an extent. But the majority of our content you'll see is either clips from our podcast like this, which isn't a direct sale, but it's one showing you our expertise in the podcast and content industry. It's also showing the quality and format of our podcast. So if you record your content here, you can know what to expect. So it's like subtly selling without actually being like, "Hi, do you want to come into the podcast studio? We're doing an offer on 2 hours for one," something like that. We're not, by the way, but it's
Close.
different things like that. So like even what I said at the start, like we're doing ghost content next week because it's funny and it's silly,
Mm.
and we want our studio to come across as
Not so
not
serious. Yeah,
serious. Like
yeah.
we're a husband and wife with a dog, and we've got Fraser, who
He's the dog. We've
we've
got
got.
two dogs.
Do
I
you
don't
like
know why
that
I was
one?
saying
You
that.
like
That's
that
so
one?
fucking weird.
That's really weird. Like we want people to see us like that, like, and they want us to come across approachable. So
Mm.
we do content like that, but we also do a lot of content that is education and value driven. So, for example, our post that went out
Are
yesterday.
you going into each one of these?
No,
All right. Just because you've picked off a couple of
I
ones.
just done education.
Yeah.
So educational or value driven. Yesterday we put out a post because we're seeing a lot of our clients who podcast with us but do their own social media clips. We see a lot of them maybe posting captions with them and the captions are off the screen, or they might be posting overlays on them and the overlays are covered by the like buttons and stuff like that. So we done a videos to say, right, before you post anything on Instagram, do a wee
Consider
checklist.
this, yeah.
Look at what we're doing. So like this is your safe zones on Instagram, this is your no zones. And it was just like a video that we got Fraser to record to say that when I'm editing, I use this template to make sure that my captions aren't going off the screen and doing stuff like that. And we post that, and that was actually a really good video for our
Yeah.
studio because we had a lot of people that said, right, can I get the template? And we're like, yeah, on you go.
Mm.
Here's the template. And then on the basis of that, we've got customers who think, oh yeah, they know what they're doing, they know how to edit. So if I trust them and I'm what's the word? Grateful for that information, and actually I might use them in the future if I need editing or podcasting.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that.
And that's really what separates you. So I was looking at, so I said 30 million posts a day. I'm way off.
Was it 30 billion?
So it says some sources will indicate that over 1.1 billion pieces of content are posted daily, while other reports on average of 1,200 posts per second, which is approximately 94.9 million.
So how do
So
you stand
whatever
out from the
it is,
billion?
there's a lot out there, right? So the whole, and everyone's trying to hack the algorithm and do X, Y, and Z, but focus on focus on your business, and then we'll go through the categories here. So that's obviously the first one, which was the educational one.
Education value driven.
Educational, value driven. And that can also break down more. We'll probably do deeper dive episodes into this once we've kind of gone through it a couple of times with clients and ourselves, because that'll actually make really good episodes on different things you can do to consider when you're creating educational videos. Now, what I would say is in an educational video, what I found in the past, I said this on the last podcast, which I don't know if it was the right analogy to use, but you
I love
have
when you bring out an
no,
analogy.
but you
Makes
have
no
someone
sense.
falling. So you have like somebody getting off the bus and they trip and they fall. That's got a more potential of getting viral views and more likes and more engagement. If you post an educational style video, people swipe by it because there's a lot of people that are more interested in the social part of social media, which is entertainment. So you need to remember that when you're creating this educational content, it's not necessarily for the views, but it's for your existing audience. And you might get some new audience in. You can also be a little bit more entertaining. There's things that you can do to craft that. But just bear that in mind with the reach on educational stuff. Typically, it won't perform as well, but there is ways to get it perform as well. But then there's a part where you see people losing their integrity. Like we were speaking about someone the other day who is in the finance industry, and they're just starting to post like they're just making up like I don't know, like comedy one liners on that first one. It just isn't. It's they're changing their character, and that's cool for them to do that if it is. But it just I don't know, like they're saying stuff that you're like, why are you saying that? It's like Andrew Tate style content.
I can't remember now who this person
I
is, and
didn't
I'm
want to say who
intrigued.
it was, but
I know you don't, I don't, but I'm now intrigued.
next one anyway.
Another thing that's kind of working, we're seeing that's working pretty well on social media just now for content is storytelling. So rather than putting facts and figures across there, like actually telling your own story, which is great for podcasting, but saying like what we're doing here. So we're pivoting our business, we're rebuilding it from the ground up, and that is us storytelling. So
Mhm.
it's how can you be creative and authentic with it? It is going back to that authenticity part. If you're telling the story of how you built your business or telling a story of a client's journey, let's go back to like the PT, the coach, rather than saying, I can help you lose £10 or whatever their thing is, like tell a story about one of your clients, but tell it like you're actually just speaking. Don't like try and fluff it up and stuff like that. Be like, this is Dale. He is trying to think what you are. Hybrid athlete. This is Dale. He is he was looking to gain muscle, he was looking to this because of X, Y, and Z. What's the reason behind the why? Like, actually
Just
tell
literally
him the
talk about it.
story,
Yeah,
like,
talk
talk
about it.
about it.
Another one I said here was storytelling series. So that can be one that's really good to do over multiple posts. So each week, for example, this is an example of this where every Friday we're doing a recap of the week, and that's almost like a mini series of the breakdown of as the weeks start to progress. I guess I would tie this into the behind the scenes as well,
Mhm.
because I guess is the same. So behind the scenes content is something that's kind of blown up in the last year or so, where there was a more of a demand as people were making YouTube channels and this longer form content of how they're growing a business, because people were like, I'm interested in doing that for myself
Why do you think behind the scenes stuff does so well?
because it's real.
I think it's because people are nosy.
Is that to you?
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
super nosy,
yeah.
like, stuff like that. See if I see something that's not even anywhere near related to anything I wanna do. Like, sometimes I watch people cleaning their house on the behind the scenes, like, "Come with me till I clean my house." I'm like, "Okay."
Let's see your house.
Yeah, like, stuff like
Oh, look
that,
at
and
these
then
curtains.
yeah, like, I'll watch it, and then I'll be like, "I should really go clean my house." No, never mind. But, like, it's not stuff like or, like, there's one, a Scottish cake maker and on TikTok, and she does really well on TikTok, and I can't remember her name, but I always watch her videos. I don't want to start a cake business, but, like, I always watch her wee behind the scenes, like, of her opening up and setting up the
We're
shop.
curious. We're
Like,
curious
it's
people,
just
but yeah,
nosy, like,
yeah.
but we are very nosy
Mhm.
people, which is good. But, like, we've done quite a few day in the life videos, and they do tend to do pretty well because it's like you're also showing people a different side of your business because our behind the scenes often start with something with Cooper because it's like, right, we're taking Cooper a walk, we're doing this. Like, we take people from the very start, and it's I think again, I'm like I've said this word about 5 times, it's going back to being authentic because it's not I'm not gonna say do a day in the life or behind the scenes with me and I'm gonna be like all influencer and be like, I wake up and I take my I don't even know what influencers do, but like I do my gua sha routine, I do this, then I go to Pilates and I do this because that's not what I do. Like I
Mhm.
don't make up a day in the life just for the sake of a video.
Yeah,
So I
so
think
you
it's
want to keep it real.
going back to
Keep it real.
authenticity. But then on a side note with behind the scenes, again, it is subtly selling, but not really selling. So we've got a behind the scene video from our content shoot on Monday that we're going to post. And again, that's
Showing
showing behind the scenes, showing what we're
potential
doing.
customers
But
how it would work if they choose us.
customers will see that and be like, oh, that actually looks really cool. I need that for my business. Can you do it? So it's not been, we won't put the caption as, if you want this, come like speak to us. It's just that's the
It's
video
just
we're
like,
putting
yeah,
out
were you
there.
ever curious on how it works with content creation? Like, here's what we do, and here's what most because people some businesses out there have never used a videographer or a marketing agency. So just gives them, even if they don't use us, but it's a nice little insight
Mhm.
into our industry as the marketing
Yeah.
industry.
And it's
And get,
building trust
aye,
again.
exactly.
Like,
True.
oh,
What,
on you
what are
go.
you going?
I was gonna say another one would be like authority, so like your social proof and positioning.
I'd say that's educational though.
I think so. But
Yeah.
like I was thinking more like your testimonials and stuff.
Oh, I had that as its own one. Testimonials.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're right. I thought, how do you build more authority through the content you create? Testimonial style content is great because it's someone is your client avatar or your potential customers, and it's actually someone who's used your service and has sat down and is now speaking about their experience. You cannot get a better way of quote unquote selling your services
Hmm.
by getting someone who looks like your customer, who has the same pain points as your customer, and just asking them a framework. It's another deep dive episode that we can go into, but we've got one on Sunday. Created a bit of a loose framework that we'll follow, but we'll change it and specifically point it towards the coaching experience that his clients have gone through. But testimonials are great, and I'm looking forward to actually doing a behind the scenes look on that.
Yeah, I think it's really good. And I think it's well there's ways to again to be creative with it. So it's not just yes, you can get them in the podcast here and kind of speaking about it, but it's kind of how can you be creative, show them in the environment that they've been in, that kind of thing, show
Mhm.
them if it is a coach, showing that their clients had a transformation, they're talking about it, like can you put overlay videos of them working out, that kind of stuff. Like it's
Yep.
simple stuff like that, just making it a bit more creative
Yep.
within it.
You got any more?
Um,
I had show and tell, but I think that's more like behind the scenes. But what I was thinking about with show and tell is also, say you're upgrading something within your studio. Today we've got such and such happening. Here's why we're doing it. Here's how it's going to change the customer experience. Show and tell, here's how our service works. I know we said behind the scenes of a content shoot, but show and tell is, it doesn't have to be behind necessarily behind the scenes. It could be, here's how like a walkthrough.
Mhm.
If you sign up to our services, here's what you can expect. Those are, I guess, maybe educational. They maybe fall into some of the other categories, but if you kind of just view them as their own, one that is a really good one is if you have a location where a customer has to come to, just showing them where they park, how they come to the front door. That can be really good styles of content
Yeah,
that,
it's
that
super
people
easy.
want.
See, also like show and tell can be stuff like how one, and it kind of goes also into a testimonial, but like how one of our clients took one podcast episode and turned it into 30 social media clips. So it's like showing how your service can benefit other
Yeah, their
services and
business.
different other things like that. Other things is like how like showing mistakes you've made as well. Like this is we've made these mistakes in editing, so you don't have to. You're shown
What
that
you
kind
do.
of thing.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. So there's tons you can do with organic content, which
But
uh,
I think sometimes it can maybe feel a bit overwhelming. But if you break it down, pick a couple of the categories, a couple of topics to talk about, and don't be afraid to talk about the same topics. I think we get in our head that, oh, but I've posted that to Instagram already, and it's like,
like
okay,
you
back
just
to my
said,
point. 57
yeah.
people saw my introduction. Do you think that was the last introduction video I ever done on my Instagram page? I done one every 3 months because even if I gained 100 followers, I was doing another. Hey guys, like, because I got better at speaking, I got better about talking about my services and all this sort of stuff.
And there's also the point you said about how many Instagram posts a day go out.
94 million
So
or
it's like
1.1 billion. That's a massive
you
range.
can't guarantee that every post you put out there is going to be seen by your full audience. So it's like, yeah, we've already done an introduction post, but let's do it in a different way. Let's do an introduction post of us in the podcast studio. Let's do a behind the scenes introduction post. Let's do a trending,
Hmm.
funny, silly one. It's like taking that one idea and doing it in 3 or 4 different
Yeah.
ways. What's your view on trending organic content?
Oh, that was one of the last ones I actually had trending. I think it depends on the character of the business. For us, I don't mind being a wee bit more creative and jumping on some trends to have fun with it because I enjoy creating content. It's a creative part, or it's a creative outlet for me. I think the same for you. I don't think it should be the main strategy of trying to. I think people will do trending content to get more likes and more views to
To
their
go
business
viral.
page and then think going viral is going to get them more business.
No, I would agree, and I think I've said this word 10 times now, but again, it's like how do you take that trending content and make it more relatable for you and your audience and make it authentic? So don't just do a trend for the sake
You
of
put
it,
your
but
own spin on it.
yeah,
Don't
put your own
copy
spin.
what everyone's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like think like, can you do it in your way and can you do it better?
Like repurpose it,
Hmm.
definitely. I think the last thing I just wanted to quickly was go and say is like when a lot of clients with us maybe do ads and stuff like that, organic content is a great way to test your content before you put it onto an ad. So if it's performed pretty well with your current audience, is it something that you think can do well then with a new audience? Not all the content that you do organically will, but the content that you're maybe putting out to sell your services or just give an introduction of yourself, if that's done well organically, put some spend behind it, and then that's when you can see if your ad stuff works.
Yeah, and maybe do a separate episode on paid ads
Yeah.
because there's a lot to like unpack in that
There's a
just
it's
one bit.
just because some people might be thinking like, "What about ads then?" I think like your organic content and your ads content has to go hand in hand together.
Yeah, because if you're just running paid ads and then you click on the page and there's no post or the last post has been from March 2022, you're like,
Is this
is
legit?
this business actually still operating?
Yeah.
So, but then again, that can still drive business, which is good. So the argument back to it is like, if you're managing to get business without doing this stuff, amazing. But just imagine what you can do if you're doing it. It might change the LTV of a client. It may change the longevity or more customers that you end up getting referred because more people can see you, more people can buy into you. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I always find that people who don't want to post content has stuff to hide because they're doing some shady shit. And that's my controversial take on it.
Last thing, just before we wrap up, if you had to give our listeners a piece of advice who haven't done organic content, where to start and what to do next if they had to go away today and record, what would you say?
Do an introduction video. That's probably one of the hardest but easiest ones that you can do. Get your phone, turn it on, get someone to, or if you work with other people, actually, here's the easiest way. Get someone to sit down with you and ask you some questions. Why did you start the business that you started? What does like your problem like the product or service that you sell, what does that fix for your customer? And just watch what clip you've got off the back of that and just upload that. Start there.
Well done, I like it.
Introduction. What do you do?
And I'd say go for authenticity over aesthetics.
What would you say?
I'd say that, and then I think from that, just try and build some consistency. I'd say try and be consistent with it. Try and build up like a bit of a schedule of when you're going to post, how you're going to post, and take it from there. Try and not make it feel too scary.
Yep. Right, we'll wrap up there. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. You know where to find us, or if you don't know where to find us, you can find us on Instagram at Bulletproof Studios __. And if you're watching on Spotify, head over to YouTube, because on every Friday we also upload some of our more creative content where we do some fun games and that. So if you want to see a wee bit more behind the scenes look into other aspects of our business and our life, you can check that out there. That is at Bulletproof _studios on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube and Spotify, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, we'll see you guys next
On
week.
the next one, if you've got any questions or would like us to cover anything, just drop us a message or comment. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.